everybody. Today I'm talking about Mars in Taurus. This is a long transit of Mars because Mars will retrograde in Taurus. Firstly, we are happy that Mars has left Rahu's presence and it is on its own in Taurus. However, this transit can be challenging for some of you. And so we need to be conscious of that. Plus, Mars is going to turn retrograde. It starts in Taurus on 10th of August and remains there till 15th October. Then for a short while, it will go into Gemini and then retrograde back into Taurus again, and then go forward till 12th of March. So a lot of things to explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton and we are talking Mars in Taurus. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So Mars in Taurus is a big transit for us. Normally, Mars stays in one sign for about 1.5 months, maximum 2 months. But this time, Mars going into Taurus, it's almost like a 6-month transit for us. And in the next many months, Mars is only in 2 signs, Taurus and Gemini. So first let's explore Mars in Taurus. Mars moves into Taurus on 10th of August and remains till 15th October 2022. Then for a short while, it will go into Gemini where it retrogrades, and it retrogrades back on 13th of November. It remains in Taurus up to 12th of March. So Mars is going to be in Taurus, both direct and retrograde. Retrograde in Taurus will be from 13th November to 12th of January. Then it goes direct and then it stays in Taurus right up to 13th of March. So long transit. So therefore, if he is suitable, then it's going to be really good. If he is in a difficult house for you, then we have to watch out for it. So the main thing about Mars in Taurus is the positive aspect is that it is no longer with Rahu. Mars in Aries was very volatile. And if you watched it, there was a lot of anger, frustration, violence, also fire everywhere, hot weather. It was all sort of things that were connected to fire and Agni. So Mars going into Taurus is much more practical, down to earth, earthy. Actually, as soon as Mars goes into Taurus, by Navamsha, he's exalted. So he's starting Taurus quite well. Also, Taurus is a comfortable sign. It is a fixed sign, earth sign. So Mars is not going to be volatile here. Fire element is very volatile. It's difficult to manage. So Mars in Taurus is not going to be volatile. He's going to be able to cope with it, deal with it, and also what we have to see is what houses he is transiting for you. Now, the other factor of Mars in Taurus is that there's no planet in Taurus. The monthly moon will go through Taurus, but otherwise there is no conjunction in Taurus for Mars. There's going to be no Sun, there's no Venus, Mercury, anything. There is no conjunction for Mars in Taurus. So that is a second good factor that we are going to. So he's doing his own thing. He's a power planet. He represents, the commander-in-chief. So, but I would think that in Taurus, there's much more practical approach to things, not just, okay, I need to fight, I need to be angry. It's more restrained and practical approach. I think that the main factor with this long transit and for the next many months, Mars is either in Taurus or Gemini. That means it's not moving anywhere very fast. And even its first foray into Taurus, which is right now, it's going to go into Taurus on 10th of August and then till 15th of October. What's happening is it's over 2 months transit that Mars is slowing down, especially around October. And then it's going to retrograde end of October in Gemini, but goes only 1 degree of Gemini, and then comes back on 13th of November retrograde. And again, retrograde in Taurus, and it will remain retrograde in Taurus till 12th of January, where he goes direct and then will remain in Taurus right up to March. So all these different flavors, I will be making a separate video about Mars retrograde. Mars doesn't retrograde every year. It retrogrades every 2 years. So Mars retrograde is quite rare. It only retrogrades 8% of its time. So the only planet that retrogrades less than Mars is Venus. So having a Mars retrograde means it is a major event for us. But first, before it retrogrades, the first stage of Taurus, I would say it is more stabilizing because Taurus is not as volatile as Aries. Normally, Mars in Aries is quite good, but this year Mars in Aries was with Rahu, which is disturbing the peace, whereas Mars in Taurus will be more stable. Normally, for everybody, what you have to be careful with Mars is that you don't become too aggressive, too dominating. Also, Mars in Taurus is a different kettle of fish from Mars in Aries. So Mars in Aries is going to, was way more active and wanting to make his position felt. Taurus can sometimes be that Mars is being fixed in ideas. So whatever they want to do, they think they know best and they don't want to move from whatever position they take. So all of us have to learn how to use this energy because it can be very stable but also stuck. So we need to maybe do some activity, do some work so that we are using this energy. Otherwise, we can feel the energy going, just being there, and then it can come out as a sudden frustration or irritation. And how do we deal with it, and what is the impact on the sign? So do remember that we are looking at your ascendant and your moon sign. Aries, you are ruled by Mars. It's a very important transit for you. Mars is in the second house of wealth, of speech. It's in Taurus. So Taurus is a, fixed sign. So sometimes you may feel lazy. You may want to organize financial issues for yourself. And then, of course, watch out for retrograde. I'll be making a separate video on retrograde. But this next 2 months is all about money, wealth, savings. Those are the things. And be careful what you say because Mars in the house of speech, you may be a bit volatile in what you say. Taurus, Mars is in your ascendant or moon sign. So it is your 7th house ruler. It is also your 12th house ruler. So 12th house may make you want to travel, do things. 7th house is connected to partners. So they can either be dominating you or being, you may be open to their thinking and thought process. Also Mars being in your ascendant or moon sign, you can feel very energized and wanting to do things and wanting to put your message across forcefully. So how forcefully you want to do, I think that is important. And also watch what Venus is up to. Then you get a good idea about how to handle Mars. Manai, Mars is not the best planet for you. It is traveling in your 12th house. So 12th house is house of expenses. And Mars sometimes can make you, forceful in making expenses. So do watch out for that. Secondly, 12th house also spiritual house. So think more spiritually. It can also make you travel or go abroad. But if you're traveling also, just do watch out that you're not, getting into argument or wasteful discussions with people. So keep your cool. Sometimes Mars in the 12th house can give you simmering anger that you don't feel you should express it. So maybe doing things like activities and all will help you how to use up the energy. Cancer, Mars is a very good planet for you. It's long stay in your 11th house. That is a good stay for you. 11th house is house of profit. Mars will give you ideas about, how to make most of your earnings. And I would say generally this is good that he's staying for such a long time. And you can, focus not just money profit, but profiting from life, doing good stuff. Leo, Mars is a great planet for you. It's transiting the 10th house. 10th house is a solid position for Mars transit. It's about professional life. It's about your future. There can be many opportunities there that Mars brings for you. As your best planet being in the 10th house and a long 10th house transit, this is rather very positive for you. Mars is moved out of your 8th house. So that is one good thing. It's traveling your 9th house. 9th house is the house of dharma, the house of good thinking. Mars sometimes is not willing to listen to good advice. So be careful if you are thinking that I should not listen to this, I should make my own mistakes. That would be important to restrain yourself from doing that. But otherwise, for Virgo, do watch what Mercury is doing, and then you'll know whether you are in a capacity to handle what Mars is up to. Libra, Taurus is your 8th house. So this is not the most easiest transit for you. 8th house is house of sudden change, transformation. It's a hidden house. So sometimes we don't know what is happening there. And Mars being in the 8th house for such a long time, which is unusual for him, even though he's not making any conjunctions or anything, you do need to be aware that there can be some unexpected things happening for you. And also there can be a desire that I want to make changes and transform my life. And personally, I feel that it is important that you should be cautious about it and not make any impulsive decisions. Sometimes Mars can also be stubborn in Taurus because he's a fixed sign. So you have a certain idea and you can get stuck with it. And it can be obsessive about these things. So that is something to watch out for. Scorpio, Mars is your Lagna Lord, Moon Lord. It's in your 7th house of relationships. So you're very much focusing on relationship, spouse, long-term relationship. But Mars is not an easy planet. Mars is a warrior. So what you have to be cautious is that you're not doing unnecessarily arguments, you're not getting involved in unnecessarily fights. Even though one can say Mars in Taurus is not very aggressive and he's not necessarily, trying to pick a fight or pick an argument, but Mars is Mars, so we have to realize that. And also you're very much focused on that area of your life. So sometimes it can be to your own detriment. So take care. Sagittarius, Taurus is your sixth house. So sixth house is not a bad position for Mars transit. Usually sixth from the moon, sixth from the lagna. Mars is regarded as a good transit, but it can be that it is overcoming difficulties and dealing with opposition. You may find people being competitive with you, you being extra competitive with Mars in Taurus. But throughout this time, Jupiter is in dignity. So that is very much supporting you, and always fall back on your own wisdom, and that would be the best. Capricorn, Taurus is your fifth house. Fifth house is to do with children, creative ideas. Mars in house of children, maybe, they can be a handful. You may feel I must argue with them, discuss things with them. So as long as you're not fighting with them, it is important to keep careful about it, I would say. Aquarius, Mars in Taurus is in your fourth house. So fourth house is home, happiness. It's also, your how you feel. So Mars transiting your fourth house, sometimes you can feel irritable or angry. So those are things to watch out for. And, not to give in to those thoughts, but also find ways how to use it and to move the energy, because Mars in Taurus is a fixed energy. So sometimes you can think this is what I want to do, and you don't want to move from that position. And also Mars will be long time there, retrograde as well. So you need to express yourself without expressing the irritability. Sees Mars is in your third house. Mars is a great planet for you. Third house is a good transit from Mars, so you don't feel it so much. I think mostly this will be quite a strong transit for you, and to communicate, and also confidence to make things happen. So I would think that explore ideas, explore communication. So that is it for today. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. Thank you very much.